this is the section called Insights, and this is where Google Analytics, when you see it on the right side of your screen, you click on it and Google will offer some intelligent reports based on common data queries to provide some quick analysis. So you can explore this section to have automatic reports generated for you. It'll kind of ask you, do you want to see this? Do you want to see that? You go in there and you see if the data is useful to you. I generally don't use it a whole bunch because I'm usually looking for specific data myself, but you can occasionally look at it if you're wondering what to look for in your data, and it'll kind of bubble up to the surface and tell you maybe something that you should be looking for or some questions that you should be answering. Some questions that you should be asking. So last part of the presentation is going to be defining your measurement strategy and work with the business teams to define it. Because if you're asking business teams to say, hey, what metrics do you want to track on the website? We're tracking them now. You're generally going to get a lot of blank stares in the room and not many questions or responses from that. So you need to start off with something. So this is the NI framework, or the line of sight. So you can see here on the left, net income. That's that's a strategic objective. You want to increase the net income of the business, or that could be a profitability measure, whatever. So you can see then the two yellow things that we're tracking here is the unit margin and the unit volume. Of course, the margin that you make on the sale and the volume that you do. Now we break them down and then we can see the metrics. So then we can see the price, the percentage of campaign sales, the attach rate, geo-targeting efficiency, the cost, the number of repeat buyers, the bounce rate, and so furthermore. So I'm not going to go into this in greater detail, but you can kind of see here how you've got the big business objective broken into kind of like the main targets you're looking for, and then after that you can see the kind of metrics that you want to be targeting with the KPIs. You want to be measuring those metrics in those products or those offerings or services, so therefore you understand what you should be tracking, and you can set up conversion goals based on that. So going into more detail about this, you can see here we've got the objective income goal per week, $100,000, right, as an example. So then you can see there's price strategies here, there's cost strategy, there's market share and market size strategies. So we can see all the kind of strategies that we have here that business teams have come up with. How are they going to get the best price? How are they going to make the best cost? All those strategies are listed here. Now, how are they going to fulfill those strategies? They're going to track them with KPI. And then you get your metrics from those KPIs. And then you might have a target for those KPIs. So you've got target metrics. Now those last two columns that you see, that's what you can be tracking in Google Analytics. You can be looking at that. You can be looking at the revenue per week is 20,000K. So you're tracking the revenue from your e-commerce tracking, and you want to hit a benchmark of 20K per week. That's your baseline. And so you might want to look at your new visits versus repeat visits. That's another one as well. This is how the line of sight framework would work. You need to use this table, and you can fill in your own kind of strategies, KPIs and target. So you really work from the left to the right. That's commonly what business guys would do. They won't really know what's on the right hand side until they define the vision and objectives of the company. These could change over time, of course, as well. So you'd need to be updating these. So this is another one. This is more inherent from the kind of marketing idea, where this is more of a cyclical process, and it generally is more of an overview. This one's very specific. I think some business people, particularly around commerce, traditional commerce area, would really appreciate this. But this, kind of like more marketing. This is more about keeping your customers happy. So you have the common areas of attracting the customer, engaging them, converting them, retaining them, and then that customer being an advocate for another customer. That could be your NPS score, your Net Promoter Score. So you're looking at doing that. You want to prevent churn. You want to reactivate the customers. You want to engage them instead of abandoning them. So you're looking at metrics along this. This is looking at a user journey, whereas this is kind of looking at more or less breaking down a business objective into KPIs and targets. So this one here, you're looking at it, how to break this down. You're looking at what kind of information you do. So visits by source, bounce rate, that's how you attract them. What's engaging them? Is it video views? Is it product views? What do you convert area here is more like your kind of micro conversions. Can be a bit of macro conversions, but more likely your micro conversions here. You can see a mixture of both. And then you can see the retaining one. Are they repeat purchases? Are they signing up for a newsletter? Are they following through on retargeting through your Google Ads and other different digital marketing channels? Now the customers, are they sharing it through social media? Are they writing reviews on your website? This information generally may not be covered by Google Analytics, but everything down below it, you can think of ways to track this metric inside of Google Analytics. Now this is more of an open lifecycle framework of your customer. This is not as much aligned to a business goal or vision, although you can use a combination of both frameworks to do this. So you can see this lifecycle framework broken down, where you've got the KPIs on the left, you've got the lifecycle stage that it's attached to, and then you can see the measurement going on. So the measurement is really the metric that you're going to be using in Google Analytics to drive the KPI. Now in this table, we're missing the target, but you would have a target set up. It's pretty much the same here. So there's two different ways you can break down a business operation into something that you can track inside of Google Analytics. And now we're at the end of our presentation. So thank you for watching. I hope you found this valuable in understanding why we use Google Analytics and what we can get out of it to improve our business. Please check out some of the other videos on the channel, which will go into more detail about using Google Analytics and going right into the actual operations of how to use it and get certain data and insight from the tool. Thank you very much.